Hello, my name is Amnik Chilotra, and I'm a student fellow with the Fresno State Transportation Institute. Today, I'm here at the Fresno State Institute's 2025 Summit event, and I'm joined by
Lori Wilson, Assembly Member for the 11th District. It's a pleasure to be in this space with you, Amnik.
Of course, and likewise, pleasure back. Can you tell us a little about your district, Assembly District 11?
Yes, I represent Assembly District 11, which includes all of Solano County, portions of Contra Costa, the eastern part, and portions of Sacramento County. So 3 counties.
That sounds like you have your work cut out for you. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Larger district because we're supposed to be approximately 500,000, and I have almost 525,000 people in my district.
So on top of your already busy schedule with constituents, you're also the chair of the transportation committee.
Yes, I chair the transportation committee on the Assembly side. There's 2, both on the Senate and the Assembly, and we cover things from CHP, everything you can think of related to transportation. So buses, cars, rail, road infrastructure, tickets. Like DMV. Everything that you can think of related to transportation that comes through my committee.
Must be a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. So what got you into this type of work exactly?
Well, actually, I was by trade an accountant. Yes, and got into finance. And then I had the opportunity to serve my community locally. I started on the Parks and Rec Commission, which I call the fun one. And then I ran for council and was a council member for about 6 months before my mayor appointed me to be vice mayor. I did vice mayor for 6 months and then ran for mayor and then was mayor for 4 years and then had the opportunity to come to assembly, which is an amazing experience to be able to impact statewide. How I got into transportation was actually from being a local leader. We had a fire that was pretty devastating and people evacuated to my community, and I saw how people struggled to evacuate, how people moved, and an emergency was an issue. Then we had the pandemic where we saw the stop of good movement. And so when I got to the assembly, I had a select committee on emergency preparedness and transportation and how they intersect. So the movement of people and goods in times of emergency, which let everybody know I wanted to be in the transportation space. And so shortly thereafter, I became chair of transportation.
Wow, it's extensive experience indeed. So how has that experience kind of led you to giving back to your constituents? Giving back to the people of your county?
Yeah, I love my district. I had the opportunity to be a local leader for 12 years before I came to the assembly. And so they are top of mind when I'm at the state is how do I improve their quality of life? I have a saying that I say everywhere I go because it's extremely important to me and it's my North Star, is that every single person has a right to a high quality of life. They have a right to define what it looks like for themselves. And my only job as a government leader is to facilitate that. So residents are at the top of my mind when I'm doing the work in Sacramento. And as though I only represent the 11th Assembly District because I'm a daughter of the Central Valley, born and raised in Fresno, was over 21 before I left, was in Fresno State for 2.5 years of my career, even though I ended as a Hornet. I started as a Bulldog, but I know, right?
You went from good to bad. It's supposed to be bad to good.
I'm a bull neck. Can I be mixed in that? But anyway, but at the same time, I wanted to build a California for everyone. I come from a marginalized, underrepresented, underserved community, both when I was in Fresno and just being, a Black woman in the state. And so I wanted to make sure that California was working for everyone, that it was built for everyone. And that's the kind of work I do in Sacramento. And it comes from what I learned as a local leader in the city of Cistern City, but it also comes from being a daughter of the Central Valley.
Well, that kind of just leads into my next question is, how did you hear about the 2025 summit from all across from Sacramento? I'm not gonna, that's a far drive.
Yes, it is. It took me almost 3 hours to get here during traffic. But the good thing is I have family here, so I get to hang out with my family.
That's a good thing you're fixing the transportation.
Exactly. But how I knew about this is because as chair of transportation, I get an opportunity to specialize in that space. And so people look for me to find out what is the state doing on transportation? And so because of that, I got an invitation. And because it was in Fresno, it was very appealing. It was like, yes, I'm going to go and I'm going to go see my family and I'm going to go eat my Al Rico tacos and go get my, special fried chicken from Pete's Teriyaki. So that was my opportunity to come home, get some good food and have a good conversation and then make it back home to be with my family.
Oh, that's amazing. Sounds like you had a busy schedule while you're in town as well. I'm not going to lie. But kind of going back to the summit, and exactly what has been like a memorable moment. I know you just spoke on the future of transportation in the kind of panel that we just had. Can you give your thoughts and insights on that?
Yeah, it was great to be on this panel because I got to hear a local perspective. I got to hear a perspective just about Central Valley transportation. And here's the thing, when you get high level and look at things at a macro level, you can easily forget what happens at the micro level. So being here and being part of this conversation reminds me of what the needs are in the Central Valley and ensures that it's top of mind as I'm making decisions in Sacramento. I'm doing that keeping in mind of what's happening in the Central Valley and what is absolutely needed in such a critical part of our community that sometimes is left behind.
Definitely. And Measure C, as I'm sure you've heard up there, was definitely talked about, and kind of like its impact on rural communities is definitely felt here. Do you have any like comments on like that?
I think local funding is critically important. We have money that we get from the feds. We have the money that we contribute from the state. However, when a local community gets involved and says, I'm going to help myself as well, it allows that trifecta funding that gets projects across the finish line. When we're talking about road infrastructure projects, when we're talking about transit, we're dealing in billions. And so it's absolutely necessary that we all come together for the community that we want to see. And so it's not just about what the feds are doing. It's not just about the states are doing. It's also about what does the local community want and what are they prioritizing, and that helps the projects get funded, that helps our road be smoother, that helps access where there's not access, and it helps everybody move in and around their community in an efficient and effective way to increase their quality of life.
Well said, well said. And kind of one thing that I really like to emphasize in part of this interview is, what is some advice that you would like to give to, like, if you could go back like 15 years or to like a young professional like myself, and I'm sure you've seen like many students here, because like the Fresno State Transportation Institute not only funds research projects but also undergraduate students, kind of like K through 12 outreach, as well as just spreading the word of knowledge about transportation professional careers in the area.
Yeah. I would say my advice to those young professionals who are coming up in the space is, first of all, be authentically you. No matter what, you got to be you, because you're the only person that can be you, right? And you have a gift to give to this world. And if you don't give it, we won't receive it. And so that's number one. And two, gain as much knowledge as you can. Get exposed to all different aspects of transportation. There are so many. And understand that innovation starts with knowledge, starts with having that background of expertise. And so if you want to be able to innovate in a space, it starts with completely understanding the industry so that you then can elevate it. And so I would encourage young professionals to get exposed to the multifaceted parts of transportation in this industry so that you then can innovate it and change it for the next generation.
Again, well said. And thank you so much, Assemblywoman Wilson, for taking the time out of your busy schedule in Sacramento, coming down to Fresno again. And we want to just end our interview with this. And have a good day. And hope to see you at the next summit. Exactly.